Welcome to another episode of Singapore's Real Estate Explained, where our team bring you that bite-sized information about Singapore's real estate on a weekly basis. And today, we have our news dash, once again with Lucas.
Hi.
Hello. And this is where two full-time real estate brokers turned part-time newscasters decides to bring you that bite-sized news of what is happening in the week. And today is the last week of May.
Yes.
Right? So I know a lot of you guys have been watching our news, you guys have been following us, our brokers have been sending you as weekly newsletters because they care. And the reason why I want to do so is because we just want to update you what are the most important news about Singapore's real estate in the past week, right? So today we're going to be talking about the news for the week, right? So if you still don't know where the updates are, please click on the Telegram here, because in the Telegram QR code, you're going to join the community with 1,000 plus people where you're going to see all the updated, not just videos, but also photos and lobangs from JNA Real Estate. And number two, if you want to contact any of us for any deals, you can just let us know from our central number where our client care executive will nicely and greatly assist you. And Lucas has been very busy the past few weeks closing a couple of deals and doing a lot of home tours.
Wow.
But, I'm excited for this week's news because I see the news is interesting. Lucas, take it away.
In the first news,
Yes.
Singapore private residential property most expensive in Asia Pacific.
Woo!
We are number one.
We're number one.
We are the champions.
We are the champion. We're the most expensive finally. We have always been behind Hong Kong for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not drunk, by the way.
Yes.
And we're not high on any substances. It's just that, we're a bit tired and we are just very happy.
We're
It's about a winning mentality, right? Okay. Tell me more, Lucas. Wow, we're the number one. We're the most expensive city.
So this study, the Home Attainability Index report, was done by ULI, not UTI,
Yeah.
ULI, Urban Land Institute Asia Pacific for housing.
Yes.
Right? So they ranked Singapore as number one for the most expensive private homes.
I love it when I see the word
In Asia
overtaking
Pacific.
even Hong Kong.
Yes.
Wow.
And we're also the most expensive to rent.
I don't know whether good news or bad news, but I think it's good news because it shows the health of the market, right? Is there a property bubble? Wow, we cover that in countless of webinars yearly already. Okay?
Yeah.
There's no property bubble, yet our prices are so high. And we're the number one now.
Yes.
I love it. Such a good outlook for Singapore's real estate. Okay, come, tell me more. I'm looking at the facts and it may be a bit misleading.
So it's mostly because due to the influx of immigrants.
Yes.
And on the back end, Singaporeans, we're actually moving out of our homes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Much sooner than before.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think this is more a cultural thing as
There's
well.
this thing called a revenge moving out of parents' homes nowadays. I don't know why. After COVID, everybody's like, oh my God, and my friends are getting married. I'm going to move out. Yeah, right?
Enough is enough, right?
Yes, enough is enough. Yes.
Yeah. And of course, the reduced supply from COVID.
Yeah.
I think we're still recovering from that. Like the new BTO flats.
Yes.
Slowly starting to come out. We're starting to see them coming out soon.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
But for now,
we're the number one.
It's contributing to the price increase.
Okay, that's good.
Right.
And what I'm seeing here is that the median price of private homes, right, in Singapore is about $1.2 million USD.
Yes.
And Hong Kong is about 1.16 million. So it's just a shy off of $400,000.
Yes, this is in terms of the quantum.
Yes, absolutely. The quantum of the property, right? But on a square meter basis, Hong Kong is still more than twice that of Singapore's median prices. So it means that, let's say the median PSF for Singapore right now, let's say it's about 1,007, 1,008. Hong Kong is 3,006.
Yes.
So it just shows how small Hong Kong homes are also.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there are some areas in Singapore hitting 3,000 and above, right?
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
And when I was in Hong Kong and I was looking at the real estate there, I saw areas that are far off from the central, right? Which is very far from like Tsim Sha Tsui area and not towards the Santeng area. Santeng is actually where a lot of the, the nice celebrity homes, Hollywood of Hong Kong is. But it's like the Joo Koon or like the Tuas of Hong Kong, right? They're going at 3,000 plus to 4,000 per square foot already, minimally.
Yeah.
Yeah, Singapore.
But here's a silver lining.
Tell me more.
Okay, they also studied for public housing, aka HDB.
Yes.
Okay, actually, we are ranked second most affordable.
Wow. See?
Just below Brisbane.
Wow.
So not even like the whole of Australia.
Yeah.
Specifically
the city of Brisbane.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. And our government is just so smart, right? I know in the previous video I got a lot of hate comments because I mentioned it previously because I'm pro-government, but it really is, right? In a steep real estate climate where prices are just climbing upwards, yet the government are losing billions of dollars just to make HDB affordable.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think we just have to look at the numbers, right? In in Singapore, our home ownership rate is still 90%.
Yep.
Right? Like versus Australia, 70%.
Yeah.
Hong Kong, 50%.
All renting.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
That's right.
All right. Next up.
Next news.
Okay. Oh no, not such a good news.
Condo resale volume dipped 17.9%. Not what agents want to hear.
Yeah, in April. But the prices went up by 1.2%. Yeah.
Very minuscule.
Yes.
Yeah. But this is just half the story.
Absolutely.
The market. Okay, so basically, the condo resale volume dipped 17.9% is from March to April.
Yes.
Okay?
1 month.
It's not that the buyers were off the market.
Yes.
The buyers were all busy
Yes.
buying new launches.
And there is a part there that stated that analysts suggest that the cooling measures have effectively moderated the market, preventing a surge in activity and speculation. Okay, let me just talk about the on-the-ground information that we have as a sales force first, right? And then we talk about the mismatch of information that's reported in the news, right? On the ground, just in the month of May alone, I think our team, just the investment team, the purchase side, right, the buy side, we have gone for at least 50 plus to 60 appointments. It's the most robust we've ever seen, right? In months, right? And that's the reason why, our director of investments, Chris, is like busy handling all the appointments as well. The investment team is like crazily busy handling appointments. And you're right? Tell us, new launch, the transaction volume up by how much?
80.3%.
Yes. So that's the difference in prices. So condo resale volume dipped 17.9, but new launches went up by 80+%.
Yes, and it's the highest it's been in 7 months.
And to be fair, this month and the previous month, there were plenty of new launches that came out, right?
Yeah.
Of course, like we saw the reserve residences that we had our opinion on. If you haven't watched the video, you can watch the video. But not surprisingly, there was a crazy take up. Whether it's a good product or not, then we leave it to you to analyze because we have done a video as well.
Yeah.
Right? And that brings us to the next news, which is reserve residences sells 83% of release units on launch weekend.
All 1-bedrooms were sold out. Sold out. Yeah. And what's interesting is we actually have 3 US citizens who bought 1-bedroom units as well. So as you know, US citizens, they enjoy the same
tax preferential rates, right?
Stamp
They don't
duties
pay
as us.
BSD.
That's right.
Yeah, 1-bedroom. Yeah, I love fires, don't get me wrong. Yeah, but 1-bedroom in the District 21 area.
Yeah.
Interesting, right? Yeah. And that's something that I just want to share about investments, right? And it burdens me a lot, right? Remember, the key to real estate investment is about liquidity. Yeah, you need to be able to exit when the time calls for it, right? Okay, but out of 83% of release units, right, actually only 71% of the project is sold. Like, it's still a lot,
Yes,
right?
because there are still units that are unreleased by Far East.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is what FIs always do, right? They will hold on to units, they wait for the prices to go up, and then they will resell it eventually. So there's a lot of price differentiation in different unit types.
Yeah. For example, even though all the released 2-bedrooms were sold out, actually they're still holding on to 30.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Waiting for the market to pick up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you want to buy a 2-bedroom at Reserve Residences,
you can let us know
to us
about our analysis of Reserve Residences first before making a decision. Right?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of like herd mentality going to Reserve Residences, and the PSF on average in District 21 now is 2,460 per square foot. Of course, it's a blockbuster launch in the West. You have an integrated transport hub, mixed development, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to investment perspective, we are very firm about this kind of things, because when this kind of things come in, you got to make sure that when you sell in future at 2,700 to 2,800 per square foot, because you have to pay buyer stamp duty, you have to pay agent commission after selling, you have to pay interest, 2,007, 2,008 to break even. District 15 is also going at about 2004, and it's very different locality, even though we are both Westies. Yeah.
And actually, I totally understand why people want to buy Reserve Residences.
Because you will want to as an own sale option.
Yeah, I mean, as a Westie myself, Beauty World is like one of
the hit places.
Yeah, I would want to stay there. So, but in terms of exit strategy, okay lah. I love the place, can already.
Yes, that's
I think that's what most people are going into.
Yeah, and to see that there are a lot of 1-bedrooms that are being sold for investment, most likely buying for investment, not own stay, right?
Yes,
it is surprising.
Yeah.
It is, okay, it wasn't surprising for the numbers, but it's surprising that people would even consider that as an investment option.
Yeah.
That's our opinion. Okay, before we get into trouble, let's go on to the next one. HDB launches 5,500 flats across the island with 1,500 sales of balance flats.
Yes.
Wow, going to be a wow, crazy.
Total 7,000 units.
That's the reason why HDB is always so affordable, because government is controlling supply a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Kalang Wampo.
Yeah.
Potential PLH.
Yes. And 90% of these will be built under 4 years.
Wow.
So they're really pacing it up really. Remember the time in COVID when you said 8 years?
Yeah, and it's insane, right? And not only that, I have agents in our team that tell me that, Jarvis, I'm supposed to even get my BTO already, but then the government said that they have to delay another few quarters.
Yeah.
And it really hampers their life progression plan, and also really hampers their rental plan as well, because they have to rent even more expensively.
Yeah.
Right, high rental. So yeah, government, great job to you. Before hate comments come in, government, great job to you.
So a 5-room flat in Bedok, the BTO will range about 588,000 to 737,000.
Wow.
Yeah. And 4-room flats, 448,000 to 587,000.
Okay, seems still quite affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Serangoon, from 397,000 onwards for 4-room.
Yeah.
And 558,000 onwards for 5-room.
Great. What about the pricing for Kallang Whampoa?
So this is most likely the PRH area, right? Yeah. So it seems like they're only going to be building 3 and 4-room flats here.
I see.
Yeah. So
interesting.
362,000, 642,000 respectively.
I see. What is a big jump for the 1 room difference? $300,000.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
If it's $300,000, I'm not too sure whether it's going to be PLH. Maybe it's one of the more. It's in the Kallang Whampoa Brixton, but may not be the most central of areas, lah. Right? Yeah. So okay, great. Let's talk about the next news.
Yep.
URA to rezone 6 areas for housing. Land parcels in the Vanda, Woodlands North, Whampoa, Kallang, and Jalan Jurong Kecil have been earmarked for future residential development. Yeah.
So the bigger question, right, is people are asking why.
Yeah.
Like property prices keep going up.
Yeah.
And I think the government is responding here. They recognize that there's actually not enough housing.
And supply, yeah.
Yeah. That's why even though 7,000 units are being launched, sale of balance flat and new BTOs, they are still rezoning 6 more areas for residential.
Yeah.
And this is what they call high density area.
Yeah.
So they are increasing a plot ratio from 2.1 to 4.9.
Wow.
So in the past where typically you can only build like 20 stories, or now they can build like 40.
30 plus to 40 stories.
Yeah.
Wow, that's high. And I think the government is really actively looking to rezone and also increase supply. But do you know what are the exact supply? I mean, what's it going to be? Is it going to be HDB, private, residential? Has it been released yet?
It's going to be a mixture of public and private.
I see.
But I don't have the...
Okay, interesting. So wait, when more news of it comes out, right, we will share with you a little bit more about what is it going to be. And I was more interested to see the GLS for the private housing there as well, right? All right, so Lucas, tell me a little bit more about the Chuan Park saga, right? What happened? Yeah.
So in essence, the marketing agent didn't reveal material facts.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly to the owners.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
But what's important is the offer price was 890 million.
Yes. With upgrading premium, I think the PSF is going to be about 1,294 per square foot, right? For developers break even. And this is really a 4th attempt, right?
Yeah.
And usually older developments like this, there's always going to be a lot of resistance because a lot of the owners, after they get the en-bloc proceeds, right, of I think close to $1.2 million to $2 million, they have the replacement cost is very high.
Yeah.
They can't find an area that is going to be of the same size, right?
Yeah.
I've served alongside the sales force a lot of buyers who have en-bloc their Mayor Park condo and they can't find replacement units in the particular area and that kind of size, right? So I believe that's why there's resistance.
This is going to be a very exciting piece of land because Chuan Park is 400,000 square feet there.
Big plot next to Lorong Chuan, right? And knowing that the developer break even is kind of going to be about 1,294 to about 1,400 PSF, including marketing costs and blah blah blah, with a 30% profit margin is supposed to be 1,700 to 1,800 closer to that, but I don't think so.
But there's 2 people I want to congratulate.
Yes.
There were 2 people who bought Chuan Park, a 710 square feet unit in 2002 and 2003.
Who is that?
They bought it at 298k and 310k.
Are you serious?
And now they are minimally getting 1.16. That is 400% profit in
Gains.
20 years.
Okay.
Worth it?
Let me think about it. Okay, so yes, they made a windfall, right?
Yeah.
I would think $1 million, right? But it means that they're making 50k a year. I think our investment team can easily outbid that.
That's true.
Yeah, in 3 years because of opportunity cost. But you're right. Wow, 290k? That's 290k.
290k.
Oh my god. Can we buy a car now with that kind of amount 20 years?
Which is a good reflection on how far Singapore has come.
Absolutely.
In terms of property prices.
So, this gives a very good perspective of own stay buyers, buying the right asset, waiting, holding on, and then still making money off it. Not the best returns. The investment team usually grosses about 15% on ROE per annum, right, for us. And 3 years, we're talking about 45 compounded. Let's say it's going to be about 50+%, right? But when it comes to, a unit like holding 20 years to earn $1 million is not the highest. But I think this shows that, when you choose the right asset, the appreciation is a bonus, a big bonus for you as well, right? So congratulations to both Kingsford as well as MCL Land, right, for buying Chuan Park. And I just hope that, you don't sell too expensive so that more investors will be able to buy and make money off it as well.
Special discount, please.
Yes, special discount, please, for shout out. Anyways, any closing thoughts about this week's NewsDash?
I was speaking with a client yesterday, and I think his sentiments are across a lot of investors' minds. Actually, a lot of us are worried for our children, especially I have 2 children as well.
Yes. How are your kids?
They are primary 5 and primary 3.
Great. So 10 years old as well as 9 years old. 8 years old?
10 and 8, turning 11 and 9.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Correct. So by the time they can buy a house that's expensive in 10, 15 years' time, wow, where will prices be?
Absolutely.
But I think so far, of course, we're all a little worried, but so far, Singapore takes care of us.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
We are still second most affordable in terms of public housing.
Yes, and we're still cheering because it was the most expensive just now. And now when we think about our kids, it's a reality check.
I think we are enjoying the best of both worlds, really.
Absolutely.
Being able to afford a roof over our heads.
Yes.
And number 2, being able to afford an investment property which can grow steadily over time.
I agree with you on that. I think that affordability of housing is something that the government ensures through 80% of our housing supply, which is the HDB flats, right? Yeah. So I think that, honestly, after buying the condo at Maya, and thinking of investing in a couple condos or commercial properties under Penny's name, one thing that I truly realized, right, is that we don't have to be worried about the future generation too much because the government takes good care of them, and we don't worry too much about wealth. Because I realized that when there's more wealth, right, actually there is more responsibilities, and inflation of lifestyle, right, is actually something that I really think a lot about, because when we constantly try to inflate our own lifestyle, right, and we don't live simply, right, it is something that affects the perspective of all generations where, you got to keep upgrading. I've seen wonderful and beautiful families having the time of their life in HDB flats. Yeah. So perfectly nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Yeah. Being contented, I think, is really important. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Great. I think this week's news is so amazing because this week's news, we talked about the Chuan Park en-bloc, you had the rezoning that happened, the HDB launching good flats, plenty of flats that's coming up, and, us being the most expensive, city, right? Asia Pac, right? Yeah. So I just hope that you have enjoyed this week's NewsDash, and let us know, share with your friends, and give us some comments, right, about the NewsDash. Let us know how you feel about this, right? And we just hope to catch you for the next one, right? If you haven't joined the Telegram channel, right, please join it. It's going to be here. If you want to have any real estate inquiries, you can contact our client care executive, who will be referring to you or JNA real estate broker in the sales force to contact you as well, right? Thank you so much for staying tuned in this week's NewsDash. This is Jervis.
This is Lucas.
And we are going to see you for the next one. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.